Okay, hello everybody, it's the Abstractionist. My name's Tony, if you don't know. But anyway, the Abstractionist, that's what the channel's name is, right? So, I'm doing this video. Hopefully it doesn't overheat because it's like, getting hotter and shit. So, alright, so I'm going to talk about the frustrations of Neptune because I just had a whole freak out on the way to Chick-fil-A. And I just wanted to explain, like, the things that, like, Piscean or Neptunian, really, just Neptunian lessons have. And I know Saturn is transiting, and, like, that's a big thing for me. And then Pluto also, because I'm a Cancer, so Saturn literally just ripped through my whole life because it opposes my sun sign. And then Pluto is like finishing up opposing my sun sign, so I'm kind of like shittiness. And I'm really not prepared or really feeling this Pluto going through Aquarius. My moon sign is in Leo, and I'm just not here for it because I can already feel like the emotional fracturing and emotional breakdown happening. So I'm kind of like, oh my god, like what the fuck. So yeah, and then my rising sign is in Virgo, so it's kind of like it just never stops. So basically, frustrations of Neptune. So essentially, what I was frustrated by and what I continue to be frustrated by, and it is kind of a Saturnian lesson a little bit as well. It's just kind of like dissatisfaction with stuff. I kind of feel like Saturnian brings about dissatisfaction, but what's more dangerous than that is like the Neptunian thing of disillusionment. And so right now I'm just kind of going through like a lot of disillusionment with where I am in life, what I want, and it just feels like there's this cycle over and over again, being in the same situations or having to finish one lesson and then it's something else. It's always something else. Like, that's kind of the tagline of Neptune. There's always something else, but you never know where it's coming from, and sometimes you never know what the root of it is. And you spend more time trying to figure that out than actually solving the issue, and that prolongs everything, and then it's just like a big meltdown. So, when people talk about the Neptunian kind of energy and house and disillusionment and kind of all the issues that fall under Neptune would be just distortion of reality, addictions, drugs, fantasy, preferring to escape into something else. Like, I can see why, because life is just fucking hard. And like, my Saturn return is coming through, so I know that. Like my Saturn is technically in Pisces, but like I've been feeling it all because it's like it's opposing my sun, now it's opposing my moon, then it'll be like conjunct where I back where it was when it fully comes here. And so it's just, I'm just over it. I'm over it all. So Neptunian things, like things that are frustrate Neptune is like the first planet where you kind of don't have the lifespan of the planet. So what do I mean by that? And the sun, like, we don't have the lifespan of the sun, but like we revolve around the sun, and we have like seasonality, and we have different cycles and stuff like that. So for most of us who are lucky, we get to experience all the seasons. We get to experience all of the stuff that comes with like life in terms of like cycles in general. We have like a like a spring phase, a summer phase, an autumn phase, and a winter phase to our lives. If you're lucky, some people, their winter comes much sooner. Which is, I'm just saying, the end comes much sooner for them. The end is in like dying, like a physical death, not necessarily a spiritual one. But Neptune is like the first planet where the energy and the process outlives you. And so it's almost like if you have a lot of Neptunian energy, it's almost like the disillusionment sets in because you'll never really see everything that you've done and how it works in the world. And then it's like you never really understand, I feel like, fully what Neptune is about, and it's transcendent, and then it's never fully yours. Like, yeah, when you get to the seventh house, things are about others and you with others. But I kind of just feel like particularly when it comes to Capricorn through Pisces, it becomes really hard to make it a you thing, and it has to be about us. And it's a hard lesson to learn about boundaries and making sure that you like boundaries, and just making sure that you understand what you want and your goals and stuff like that. And it's almost kind of like, if you have this kind of influence in your chart, as in you have planets there or you have aspects hitting it, it's almost like all this stuff can happen to you, but you have to be the bigger person. And I'm not saying that like a whole bunch of shit has been happening to me at work, kind of, because of the nature of the work that I do. Essentially, I work and have to deal with people on a daily basis confronting me. And as someone who has a lot of Neptunian energy, Piscean energy, I really don't like that confrontation, mainly because it's draining to me. And so my mood gets out of whack because of that. So that's like another lesson to learn. But the Neptunian lessons of boundaries and things feeling like they're years away, they're like never close enough. Like, it's like you'll get there and something else happens. And I get why Pisces is the last sign, because it's the most evolved out of all of them. But I also get why, like, it's so frustrating, because it's like, you got to go through 12 signs to get, 11 other signs to get to Pisces before you even hit Pisces. And it's like you're reaching, it moves, and it reaching, it moves, and it reaching, it moves. And it's so frustrating to have to go through all of those houses and all of those signs and all of those trials and all of those issues to arrive. And so, like, Piscean, Neptunian lessons are really about understanding that the stuff that you create is probably bigger than yourself, because you have the capacity to think larger than yourself, and you have the capacity to see and vibrate and move in a space that's on either different dimensions or different realities or something like that. And I was watching a good reading about this. It was just, I follow very few people for like not personal readings, but like readings that I would be interested in. And this person, I understand what she was saying with regards to the skills that she was mentioning, because I have a feeling that it's definitely where I need to go with my own talents and skills and the spiritual sense. But it's just, a lot of things just feel very far away, and that can be very frustrating. I have a coping mechanism, which is this, and I do have to work on that. And so a lot of your coping mechanisms come out, I think through the water signs. I say particularly through your Cancer and your moon, and your Pisces or your Neptune, just because those are the ones that can kind of deal a little bit more with a disillusionment. And that if you want to ground it, you have to tap more into that Virgo energy and that Capricornian energy. But particularly when you're dealing with disillusionment, I think your Virgoan energy, because you have to ground yourself here, and you kind of have to make sure that you do what you have to move forward in life and not stay stuck. Because the thing with Neptune is, like, yes, the timeline may be 5 years, but if you keep pushing everything off and running away and just being in disillusionment to the point where, like, you're not moving, then the timeline becomes 10 and 15 years. And, then, like, certain, like, ideation trigger, suicidal ideation, or not wanting to be here becomes, like, a thing. Like, it enters your psyche, as in, like, I can't do this. And we have to tap into being here and being present and knowing that you can get through it. So I think I'm just really frustrated and I need an outlet. And I think that also knowing about what works for you and how you are really helps a Neptunian person. But you have to learn to know yourself, and sometimes you have to go through those different cycles. What I would do, and it's something that just naturally happens, is start going through the different timelines. Ooh, did I like spit? The different timelines of your life and where you were, and wherever you are now, it's probably connected back to that. And so what you have to do is clear that energy. I thought she was wearing pajamas. Good Lord. They look nice. Like her outfit looks nice. It's not a tracksuit, but it's like a 2-piece. And I really thought with the design she was wearing like a onesie or like wearing pajamas. But anyway, I'm not gonna blast people out here like that, because y'all see what I'm wearing and it's gonna be like, bitch. But like, understanding all of this stuff, where you are, where is it coming from? Like this job now, I've done a lot of childhood healing. Like childhood would be like birth through like middle school, and now I'm entering like this high school kind of energy of where a lot of my issues started come from like body image and fitting in or lack thereof, or not fitting in, being an outsider, how I saw myself when it related to beauty. I cut my hair and went natural when I was a teenager, and there was it's just a lot of rejection that comes from that, and a lot of disillusionment when you don't fit in. So that's kind of everything that I'm seeing and experiencing, and it's kind of hard because back then I still wasn't like, it was just hard. Like, it was hard being a teenager. It was hard kind of processing the stuff that I was processing, and it was a lot of heavy issues coming up with regards to like sex, sexuality, identity, religion, just beauty, aesthetics, self-esteem, self-image, self-worth, codependency. It was like really heavy shit. Like, now that I think about it, I really did not enjoy like being a teenager, and that's something that I think I've had to watching like have a conversation. It's something I've had to, I think, finally, I guess, in this video, admit that like I didn't really enjoy my teenage years at all. And now that I'm an adult, I get to choose, but I have to put in that work so that I can live the life that I want. And it's not even about like, oh, I want to be in a villa and I want to drive this car. It's just like, I just want that contentedness that I've really never had, and I haven't had in a long time, and it's having to be fostered. I'm currently watching, well, not really currently because I'm doing this video, but I'm watching Opal Oracle. I really like her readings. I've been watching her for like a while. I just kind of like it. It's like a reading where you're chatting with like a friend. And so this is kind of like prompting me to make this video, but I've been thinking about this for a while, and it just so happened that what I was watching with the reading pushed me to say all this stuff. But yeah, like, I think if you have a lot of Neptunian stuff, I think admitting to yourself what you really have been frustrated by, or what timeline that you've been on, or feeling like it's repeating itself. And I'm talking about timeline as in like a specific period in your life where this mirrors or this looks exactly the same, because there's something there that you're going to have to figure out, because it's going to show up in another way. And it's kind of like when people talk about when you have like relationships with your parents that are difficult as children, and then like you grow up and you move on and you move out and you date and you have your own kids. Like around the holidays, people get triggered like this. Like a lot of people, they'll go back and they find themselves being still that triggered child, and you got to figure that out, and you got to exist on this timeline and not like that timeline. And that's something that Neptune can really help you with. I don't feel like Saturn can help you with that. It helps you forge the discipline, but Neptune will help you hop timelines so you can put together your whole self, and then hop like dimensions also. So if you're really interested in that, particularly with work where you feel like there's an energetic cord that's like siphoning energy from you, or like you just feel like there's an energetic cord that psychologically or emotionally pulls you back, then I think Neptune is really where it's at for you. Yeah, so there's that. So that's all I had to say. I'm gonna go because it's gonna take a while for this video to upload once I because my phone and my laptop are not synced with Google, and so I have to like upload that, and then from there I can upload it to my. I gotta down. It's like a whole fucking process. I don't understand. I think I gotta sync it. So when I do that, hopefully these will get better. But that's all I had to say. This is one of the longer videos, and hopefully I will be able to figure out what I'm going to do about doing these readings, because I am going to do them. It's just I have to figure out kind of how long I want them to be, because doing one, I'm not going to do an hour long video, like fuck that, but I don't want to do a disservice to you guys and make a video that's like 5 minutes because people's attention spans are too short, or they want a certain reading, or phone storage. I gotta figure that out. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I know this isn't for everybody. If you're not as Neptunian as I am, or you feel like you're not as Neptunian, kind of just look at where it is in your chart and see what it represents, and then just see if you've had any lessons that are kind of pertaining to the general message that they have, or if you feel like it really does kind of affect you on a deeper spiritual level. So that's all. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a good day, and I'll see you, I guess, when I do the monthlies. All right, bye.